Hello and welcome to the Slow Flow Hip Opening class. So I'm Amanda, I'll be taking you through the class today. The reason I'm doing this class is I've been asking questions on my Instagram, which is Happy Hippie Fitness with an underscore at the end. And I've been asking what you guys want to see in classes, and I took little pieces from all of your answers and I came up with this Slow Flow class for you. So it's going to focus on opening up your hips. It's nice and almost a little bit restorative. I have my hair down, so you will not sweat, I can guarantee you. And we also decided on using a prop in the class, and the number one prop that was requested was a strap. So this is going to focus on opening up your hips, strengthening your hips, and you'll also get a little bit of hamstring stretching with these movements as well. It's a really nice flow to do in the morning if you just want to get your body ready for the day, or in the evening if you want to unwind a little bit. So when you're ready, you can get on your mat. If you don't have a strap, you don't have to use anything, but you can also just take a towel and use it. It has the same property. If you roll up a towel, we're just basically going to be putting it around our ankles a few times to deepen some stretches. So when you're ready, you can meet me on the mat, and we're going to get into an extended wide child's pose, which means your kneecaps should be lined up on the outside of your mat. So getting into that wide child's pose again, your knees are out there and your toes tap together. Sit the hips back, and you're going to crawl the arms forward until your head touches the mat. You can also put a block underneath your forehead if your head doesn't touch the mat. We're just going to use this time to settle in and connect to our body. Feel your hips and release any resistance that you're holding. If you're squeezing, just let that tension drop. Feel your head and your hands making contact with the earth, with the mat. And notice any part of your body that is touching the ground. Staying in the same exact position, just start to move your hips around a little bit. Maybe do some circles. You can rock them back and forth. Just try to get some small movement going in the hips. Be intuitive. Slowly rise up to a seated position. So we're getting ready for a downward dog. My fingers are going to go nice and wide. I want the fingertips to go about 45 degrees outward. Then we're going to tuck our toes and send the hips right back behind you. Taking some time to let the head hang heavy here. You could even pedal out your heels a bit to open up those calves. Now we're going to walk our way up to the top of the mat, staying in a forward fold once we get there. Let the head hang heavy. You can even grab onto the elbows to add some extra weight here. And sway side to side. If one side feels better, maybe you can hang out there for a few seconds before moving on. But just be intuitive today. Coming to stillness, we're going for a halfway lift, so palms against your shins, flatten the back. Exhale, let's forward fold. Inhale, we're going to root to rise, so just come to the standing here. And get ready for a quick bit of balance. We are going to lean onto our right side of the body, shift the weight to the right foot, and slowly lift up your left foot till it's floating. We're going to step it back right into a nice warrior one. So my left foot is behind me, my right knee is in line with my right ankle, and my arms are above my head. Standing nice and proud in this warrior. Bringing my left arm down to the ground, I'm going to open up into a dragonfly pose. If this is too difficult for you, you can always bring that back knee down to the mat. But again, challenge yourself when you can. We're opening that chest up. You can take the option to bring the arm behind your back to open up a little bit deeper. Okay, let's bring that left knee down to the mat. We're just going to lean on to our right knee a little bit just to really open up the hip. You can press your palms into the top of the knee and hold. Just breathe. Option to push the right knee away from you with the right hand and open up your chest to the left. looking over your left shoulder. Coming out of that twist, we're going to get ready to go down into a lizard variation. So lizard is bringing both the palms to the left of the right foot. You can also take it down onto one forearm or two forearms, depending on where you feel your flexibility is. I like to open up my hip as I'm doing here, just kind of moving it side to side, just to get some movement into this pose. Think about peeling your foot off the mat and then peeling it right back down. That's the movement. And we can come back to that original knee position before we push the hips back for a nice half split forward fold. Option to grab that strap here and pull it behind the back foot. This is going to deepen the stretch in your calf and your hamstring. So same pose, just keep that little bit of tension on that strap. This is your practice. Your body is different every day. Just accept where you are in your flexibility. So we're going to straighten our torso up. So just keep the front leg straight, but we're just going to rise up. Now your back left foot, I want you to rotate your foot to the right so we have a little bit of a different angle. And then the left arm is going to come back and we're going to open up into a beautiful side bend. So now we're in this side bend, looking up at the palm if you can, to really deepen that stretch. Feeling yourself growing longer with each inhale. So rising up out of that side bend, we're coming upright with the torso, and then we're just going to sit back. So my right leg is still straight, my left leg is still bent. I'm just taking a seat. You can grab your strap for this next part here. We're going to work on our hamstrings a bit. So I want you to grab that strap and you're going to bring it up over your head, both arms up. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to forward fold, wrapping that strap around the back of your foot. Keeping the foot flexed and pushing against, away from that strap is what's going to keep the tension. So don't actively pull that band towards you. Just push the foot away from you. Let the forearms relax. And drop the head a little heavier. On every exhale, see if you can bend a little deeper. We'll slowly start to come out of this posture, just rising back up. And we have a fun transition for the next one. So we're going to take our right leg, which is straight in front of us, and we're going to lift it right up in the air and swing it over till we hook it around the left knee. So we're now in a cow pose. Our right leg is hooked over our left knee. This is going to really move and lengthen, stretch the side of your hips. So it may feel a little strange if you don't usually do any movements for this body part. An option to add the strap for an upper body stretch. So we're taking it with the right hand on top, and then the bottom of the strap will be held by the left hand, just to kind of open up the shoulders and almost work on posture as well while we are hitting the hips. So you do want a bit of tension with the left arm pulling it down. Breathe into this bind and release it at any time if it doesn't serve you. I'm slowly coming out of the upper body stretch. We're going to move the leg again, so let's lift up that right leg and swing it all the way behind us until we get into that pigeon pose. You may be off the mat a little bit, but don't try to force alignment. Don't worry about being in control. Just go with the flow today. So we're hanging out in pigeon pose, making sure those hips are even. You can come down onto the forearms if that is in your practice today. You can take a block under your forehead or even a block under the hip if you feel that your hip is sticking out in the air. Inhale and exhale. Release the tension in your shoulders a little bit more. Lean further in. Now coming off the forearms, we're staying in pigeon, but I want you to grab that strap. We're going to go for an assisted mermaid pose, so as gracefully as you can, wrap that strap around the top of your foot. So see how I'm pulling the top of my foot in? This is an amazing stretch if you don't have the flexibility to get back there. Using the strap will help you get into a modified version of this pose, and you'll get a really nice quad stretch that you don't usually get during the day. Again, if it's not for you, you can slowly undo that bind and stay in pigeon. I'm going to walk forward a little bit on my hands, and then I'm getting ready to go into a downward dog. So now we're back on the mat. Feel free to take a wide child's pose for a few seconds to recover if you need to. And when you're ready, you can meet us at the top of the mat. We're walking into a forward fold. Grabbing onto those elbows, letting gravity do the work here, decompress that spine. Feeling good. We'll take a big deep breath in through our nose, and on the exhale, we're getting ready to root to rise. So pushing off the ground and coming up into mountain pose. Take a second here again, notice any shifts in your breathing, any parts of your body that feel different. And we're going to lean onto the left foot, shift the weight to the left foot, and bring that right leg in the air for a little balance. We'll gently step the right foot back into warrior one. Arms above the head, sinking into that left foot. And from here, we're bringing the right arm down to the mat, opening up the left side of the body into our dragonfly pose. Again, option to bring the right knee down to the mat if you need it. An option to bring the left arm behind you to deepen that chest opener. Feeling your body open up here. You can bring the right knee down. The right foot stays flat on the top of the mat, and we're going to lean into our right knee a little bit to open up our hip. Pushing the left palm against the inner left thigh, we're going to open up to the right side, looking over that right shoulder. You always want your gaze to go into the direction you want to twist. It'll lead your body that way. Okay, bringing both arms down onto the mat. We're coming out of that twist into whatever lizard variation we can do here. So again, that's either palms on the mat. You could bring both your forearms down. I'm doing one forearm, deepen it just a little bit. And you can peel the bottom of your foot on and off the mat. Think about opening a book, turning the page in a book. That's how you want your foot to move. And we'll come upright, hands off the mat. Straighten that left leg, and we're going to hinge at the hips for that half split pose. And this is where you can take your strap again, bring it behind your foot, and push your foot away from the strap to really feel the calf involved a bit in this pose. Notice if you're hunching over, flatten that back. You can pull the shoulder blades back and down. And I invite you to release the strap and point the toes, so you're stretching a bit of your ankle here as well. Slowly coming out of that pose, we're going to go into that side bend. So remember, our right leg is going to pivot before we bring our arm down and go for that side bend. Feeling yourself opening up to new opportunities today. And we'll come out of that pose. Remember, we're going to sit back onto our hips. Our left leg is still extended straight. Our right knee is still bent. And grabbing onto our strap, bring it above the head. Deep breath in, and then exhale, forward fold, wrapping that strap around the back of your foot. On every inhale, try to lengthen from the ribs. And as you exhale, see if you can fold a little deeper. Get the chest a little closer to your knee. So inhale, you lengthen a bit. And exhale, you deepen the fold. Rising up out of that fold, we're going to get ready to lift the left leg in the air and cross it over your right leg until it hooks outside your right knee. In that nice cow pose here, bringing the chest up, feel nice and proud. Working on our posture today, big breaths in, feeling empowered. Accepting as is. We can reach for that strap. Now remember, we're going to have the left arm on top this time, and the right arm will grab the bottom, giving a little bit of tension. So it's going to open your chest up. You're going to feel yourself grow a little taller as you hold this posture. Slowly undoing the bind behind you. Let's transition that right leg up in the air and swing it back way behind you until you reach that pigeon pose. Getting comfortable on our palms, sorting the hips out. And notice if your hip feels a little bit more open while you're in this pose. We can go down onto those forearms. You can rest the head on your kneecap or on the floor. And release anything that is coming up here, whether it's tensions, emotions, feelings. Opening up our bodies to let all of that energy go. And you can reach for that strap coming out of that forearm position. Gracefully wrap it around your ankle or the top of your foot and hold it into you. So you're just pulling a little bit to open up that quad into your supported mermaid pose. And again, accepting what your body can do at this time, feeling proud that you took the step to go into this practice. We'll release that strap. We're coming down onto our hands. And let's get into that downward dog from your pigeon pose. And we're going to go into our nice extended child's pose. Let's take a few seconds to reconnect. Grounding down by letting our forehead touch the mat. Letting our fingertips feel the ground beneath us. Okay, let's sit on up. And from seated, we're just going to transition onto our back. So slowly lowering down with control until you are laying down on the mat. We have two nice poses with our strap to end our practice today. So I want you to bring that left foot on top of the right knee. And then we're going to bring that strap behind your right thigh. Pulling it towards you to open up the hips in this reclined pigeon pose. And even though we're pulling the thighs in, using our hands, using our arms, try not to tense up in the shoulders or feel tense in the forearms. You want a nice, soft sensation, just a gentle pull towards your chest. And we can release the strap, place the right foot on the floor. We're going to go right into a twist. So the legs stay the exact same. Just push them over the right side of your body until they touch the floor. To feel more of your hip, you can push the left thigh away from you while you're in this twist. You'll feel the top of your hip expand. we can come out of that pose. You can knock your knees together. You can windshield wiper them side to side for a second. And let's get the other side. So our right ankle is crossing the top of the left knee. We're stitching our strap behind the left thigh, and we're pulling it into our body. But again, we're keeping our shoulders and our neck nice and relaxed as we do this. Releasing the strap and letting that left foot hit the ground nice and slow. We'll transition into our twist, pushing the right foot onto the left side of your body. Sinking into that good feeling today. We always deserve to feel good. You took time for yourself in your practice today. So just beginning to let that good feeling take over. Bring a smile onto your face while you do this. Feeling empowered by your own decisions today. We can slowly come out of that twist, and we are going to transition to our final pose, Happy Baby. So this is the first variation we can do. We can put the soles of our feet together and bring the strap behind your knees. This is level 1, so if that's comfortable, you can stay there. Otherwise, you can take the strap on to the bottoms of your feet, bend your knees a bit, and pull the strap down towards you slightly for an assisted Happy Baby, rocking side to side. And another level, you can bring the strap behind the kneecaps with the feet in the air. Whatever combination works for you, let's take it. Rocking side to side and coming out of that pose. My feet are still together, and I'm going to end in Supta Baddha Konasana, which is basically butterfly position with my feet, or any other Shavasana form you would like to take today. Let's get settled. If you notice your knees are starting to bother you before we go into Shavasana here, you can take some blocks and place them underneath your knees for support. Otherwise, I invite you to settle down. Let the hands rest by your sides. Start to notice your breath. Just pay attention to how your body moves on each inhale. How the chest rises, how the belly rises, how the air comes in a little colder. And on each exhale, how the chest and the stomach deflate and the air exits your body, being a little warmer. Just pay attention to your breathing as you relax into this pose. Coming back to your body, I want you to take your hands and place them right by your hips so that your palms are touching your thighs. Take a deep breath in and push away the thighs from your body. You'll feel your spine decompress a little bit. And do this 1 or 2 times. And rock the knees side to side and slowly windshield wiper them. And when you're ready, you can roll over into a fetal position, keeping the eyes closed. Again, with the eyelids closed, let's sit up into a seated posture. Slowly open your eyes when you're ready. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice today. I hope you felt that shift. I hope you enjoy your day. Thank you.